expressed on the following broadcasts do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
When the static of life fills your brain and the world seems a little too insane, just twist that dial, don't hesitate. There's a haven where good vibes await. Tune in and Take 12 for some joy and cheer. It's the sound of hope coming in crystal clear. Recovery talk, the music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
Well, there you are, family. Welcome aboard to another fine episode of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. From North Glen, Colorado, my co-host, Dion Miller of TrudgingTogether.org.
Hello.
And from Huntington Beach, California, Roger McDermott from Came to Believe Recovery.org. All with their brand new Take 12 Recovery Radio coffee mugs. Yes, indeedy. I'll tell you how you can get yours. Of course, the Take 12 Recovery Radio Make Believe Orchestra is with us playing as I speak. And a weekly wine to beat the band this week. Yes, indeedy. All here as we talk about step 6 and 7, a snapshot on the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboodly boom, be boom. Yes, indeed. So right off the bat, because I always forget to do this, listen, listeners, we would appreciate you. This isn't going to cost you a penny. If you want to donate, you can, and this is how you do it. Go to take12radio.com. Scroll down to the bottom left of the page. There's an orange donate button, and click on it, and it'll say how you can donate to help keep us on the air. But listen, this will cost you a dime, and it'll help promote the show, which will help promote recovery, which will help people get well. Like us, share us, and subscribe to us. That's all you got to do. Even if you don't subscribe, like and share it on Facebook or the YouTube or whatever. It helps with our analytics. It helps get the word out. Please do that. We would appreciate it very, very much. If you would like to donate and receive your own Take 12 Recovery Radio coffee mug, which all of us are holding up right now. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Yes. On one side, it says, "The lie is dead, we do recover." And on the other side, it says, "Serenity for you," with my signature. There we go. And the Take 12 Recovery Radio logo. These are $25. That includes shipping, so you don't have to worry about that. And that'll help support the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show, what we do here, help us keep us broadcasting. And it makes your coffee taste so much better. So much. Well, there you go. Roger, Dion, how the heck are you, man? Roger, you first. What's going on, man, in your life? You look happy and chipper.
It's a bit. I mean, the weather in Huntington Beach is majestic. It's so nice and it's lovely. So I'm good. Despite weather, whether it's good or bad, I'm blessed. So there you have it.
You are blessed.
Yep, that's a fact, Jack.
It is. And I'm going to ask Dion, because you could actually introduce the weekly wine this week, Dion. What's going on with you, man?
I get to do that? Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you going to whine about? Whine about something.
Oh, so advocating for ourselves when it comes to doctors. I've been having this finger. I had surgery for a trigger finger 3 weeks ago, and the finger is still triggering. It's still happening.
Which finger is it, Dion?
It is this finger. That was a total setup, everybody, so you know.
That was a setup. Monty did it on purpose.
It's my right middle finger.
I love it.
All right, I just happened to be doing stretches at that time, so that worked out. But Yeah, just my doctors aren't listening to me. I'm in a lot of pain,
Oh,
and
doctors.
yeah, so I kept bugging them until they're like, "Okay, Dion, we're gonna see you today at 4:30," and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, learning to advocate for ourselves. It feels like they're just. I tell them I'm in a lot of pain, but because I'm a recovering alcoholic, they think I'm pill seeking.
Yeah, they assume that automatically.
And yeah, maybe it's just that you didn't do your job right. Maybe the diagnosis wasn't right. They're not taking the indicator of pain as that something is wrong. Instead, they're
Right.
like, oh, he's just seeking stuff. And that's what we're trying to get over right now. And it's hard to do, man.
Yeah, it is.
So at the
Yeah.
same time, I have to be patient, tolerant, because when it comes to alcoholics, we're usually not honest. So doctors have a hard time.
Sure.
They do.
Sure. I can't turn Roger's cancellation on. Don't try it. Don't try to do it because it'll mess it up. Anyway, I don't think there's going to be an echo though. Well, yeah, we're praying for you, buddy. It's no joke. I have it in my thumb, and it's not as severe as yours is. I could tolerate it, but trigger finger can be very, very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hang in there. So
Thanks,
before
brother.
but let's continue the weekly wine. We get a little bluesy intro here. Let's see, where is she? There it is.
Oh, it's time for the money man's weekly wine. He'll whimper and whine about things out of line. What's he gonna complain about this week, my friend? Let's listen close till the bitter end.
Yeah, it's time for the weekly wine where we get to complain about something we're powerless over. In Dion's case, he may not be powerless over this as long as he advocates for himself strongly. So okay, I got two things. This one really quickly. It has to do with extension cords, but not really the extension cords so much as cords that are attached to electronic items. Have you noticed that they're getting shorter? It's like so my wife bought me, because I had this terrible arthritis in my shoulder, so she bought me a heating pad that straps on to your shoulder and kind of wraps around, so you don't have to hold your heating pad like that all day long, right? You can just put this thing on, and the cord on it is so short. It's like, how the heck are you supposed to get this to the stinking wall?
On
Right?
a heating pad. They are notoriously known for long cords.
Usually, yeah. Well, not this one, man. And I've noticed it even with different phone cords and things. They're shorter, and so you've
true.
got to use an extension cord. Is this a conspiracy to get us to buy extension cords? Maybe. I'm telling you.
Gotta pay them tariffs on them extension cords, man.
That's what it is. I
That's
knew
what
it.
it is.
I
Yeah.
knew it. But more importantly, there is a shrinkage of products, and we've all noticed it, right? Probably. My brain just went someplace it should not go.
Yeah, mine too. We all went there together, so don't go there, Monty.
Yeah, we all blushed a
Yeah, we
little
all
bit.
just went right there sideways. Yeah,
Gosh.
it's a shrinkage problem.
Yeah, the shrinkage problem. And nowhere has it been more evident than in candy bars.
Yes, candy
you know.
bars.
So what happens is the price stays the same of products, or it even goes up many times, but the product itself, there's less of it, or it's smaller, right? And just to give you an idea, Frito-Lay shrank bags of Doritos from 9.75 ounces to 9.25 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
It's very obvious, you can tell. Of course, these bags have always been mostly air, your bags of chips and so forth. Gatorade redesigned its 32-ounce bottle and is now 28 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Do you guys remember? I sold them when I was in grade school. Do you remember World's Greatest Chocolate Bars that a lot of the schools would sell to raise money?
Yes.
Well, they used to be huge. I
Yes.
mean,
like
they were big and they were thick. And have you seen one recently?
They're really skinny.
Oh my! They're skinny and they're
short.
They shrunk in every regard. Width, length, you name it.
Yeah.
Like, I saw one and they were selling them, and I didn't say anything to the kid. I went, "Are you kidding me?" To myself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
that
the
was
price
a
is
shrinkage.
10 times more.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They used to be like $1 when I was.
It used to be $1. Yeah. It's crazy. And a lot of times, a lot of that money doesn't actually go to the kid anyway. You know, it's
goes
crazy.
to school stuff usually.
Pizza Giant Domino's said in January that it'd be cutting down the number of chicken wings in its $7.99 national promotion from 10 to 8. 10 to 8. Burger King reduced the number of chicken nuggets in its $4.49 meals from 10 to 8. Walmart Great Value paper towels dropped from 168 sheets to only 120. Hershey cut down its 18-ounce pack of dark chocolate Kisses. I noticed this right away.
I'm sure that's the one you noticed out of all these.
Yes, by almost 2 ounces. I told my wife, because around Christmas time, my wife, Leisha, close your ears. She puts out little bowls of candy in it. The Kisses are always there, the green and red and silver ones, right? And I'm going, these things are smaller. Yeah, they are smaller.
Yeah.
Hefty Mega Pack went from 90 bags to 80. A 2-pack of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups used to be 1.6 ounces. It's now 1.5. Quaker has reduced the size of its Chewy bars from 0.92 ounces to 0.84. Royal Cannon's cans of cat food, this one's for you, Dion, now weigh 5.1 ounces, down from 5.9. Tillamook decreased the size of its ice cream cartons from 56 ounces to 48. Cottonelle's Ultra Clean Care toilet paper is down 312 sheets from 340. And Bounty Triples reduced sheets count from 165 sheets to 147. And check this out. And this is the one I discovered the other day. Marcia and I went to Wendy's, right? We went to Wendy's. And at Wendy's, you have to put the ketchup in a little cup, right?
And the
little cup is smaller than a communion cup. I couldn't believe it. You couldn't even get one pump of ketchup in it. Now, you could go back and fill up as many cups as you want. But I looked at Marcia and go, look at this. She goes, you notice that a lot about things getting so. I said, because it's so obvious. I said, it's going on the weekly wine.
That's it.
It's going on the weekly wine.
Thanks, Wendy's, for tipping that over into our favor.
So if your church runs out of communion cups, go to Wendy's. They've got
Wendy's. They got ketchup cups.
No more grape juice. No more wine. Ketchup. We can serve a little ketchup. Somebody's got, and there's another one. The little wafers, the little things at communion, at church. They're even smaller. There's no snack in the morning church service anymore during communion.
It's just a wafer thing.
It's a little tiny square thingy. You can't even. Jeez, you could almost swallow it without chewing it. Okay.
Shrinkage.
If you got something that you're powerless over and you'd like to whine about, email us at take12radio@comcast.net.
Please do. Please make it something better than the one we just heard.
Somebody help us.
All right, we're closing out the weekly wine here, and
So here's to the money, the king of the moon. In a world full of troubles, he's never alone. With a heart full of laughter, let his worries unwind. It's money's weekly wine.
yeah, baby. All right, we'll be back right after this.
And it's one of a kind.
Check it out. Are you ready for a social media platform where neighbors wholeheartedly support one another without the interference of algorithms, tracking, artificial ads, or the presence of big tech? I know I am. Listen, Act Social exists because we need a more positive, uplifting, faith-based alternative to big tech social media platform. And listen, Act Social is the platform with a purpose. I want you to visit the website, actsocial.com, and check it out for yourself. And perhaps you will make the decision like I have and make the switch for a social media platform with a purpose. That's actsocial.com. ACTS social.com. Little sugar loaf there with Green-Eyed Lady. Dum 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 dum. I was gonna say, but I don't know if I can say. I don't remember the name of the group. Oh yeah, Lucky Millinder and the orchestra. Big band opened us up with "Who Threw the Whiskey in the Well." The deacon wants to know because he's upset because Sunday morning's not going quite right, and he wants to know where the whiskey went. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, step 6 and 7, a snapshot of this. Starting out with step 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. What defects, you guys? What defects are we talking about?
All the defects we identified in step 4.
Yeah. All the defects we identified in step 4 and confessed in step 5. So reading from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, again, I always emphasize this. The 12 and 12 is not the directions on how to work the steps. It's a commentary or editorial on the steps. Please do not get that confused. But this says, this is the step that separates the men from the boys, so declares a well-loved clergyman who happens to be one of AA's greatest friends. He goes on to explain that any person capable of enough willingness and honesty to try repeatedly step 6 on all his faults without any reservations whatever has indeed come a long way spiritually, and is therefore entitled to be called a man who is sincerely trying to grow in the image and likeness of his Creator. Of course, the often disputed question of whether God can and will, under certain conditions, remove defects of character will be answered with a prompt affirmative by almost any AA member. To him, this proposition will be no theory at all. It will be just about the largest fact in his life. He will usually offer his proof in a statement like this, quote, "Sure, I was beaten, absolutely licked. My own willpower just wouldn't work on alcohol. Change of scene, the best efforts of family, friends, doctors, and clergymen got no place with my alcoholism. I simply couldn't stop drinking, and no human being could seem to do the job for me. But when I became willing to clean house and then ask a higher power, God, as I understand him, to give me release, my obsession to drink vanished. It was lifted right out of me." So, back to what I just said, I simply couldn't stop drinking. No human power, because that's talked about in the big book, could relieve us from our alcoholism, right? No human power. So no human power means no human power. So if Dion, you're powerless over your alcoholism, and Roger, you're powerless, and I'm powerless, 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. No human power. Not even a meeting full of 25 people. No human power. Not even a convention of 6,000 people. No human power. When will we get that through our noggin? Meeting makers don't make anything but coffee. Come on, man. Well, okay, I got to get to a meeting or I'm going to drink. You probably are. So we're entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character. Here's a trick question to ask your sponsees. Hey, sponsee Fred, or sponsee Janet, what character defect you working on? Oh, I'm working on selfishness. No, it's a trick question. God does that. If you're trying to remove the character defect on your own power, it's going to be really frustrating, right? And we tend to go back, revert to what we know when we can't do what we think we can do in our own power. Okay, one more piece I want to read on the next page on 64 of Step 6 in the 12 and 12. It says, in AA meetings all over the world, statements like just like this are heard daily. Yeah, maybe not so much today. It is plain for everybody to see that each sober AA member has been granted a release from his very obstinate and potentially fatal obsession. So in a very complete and literal way, all AAs have become entirely ready to have God remove the mania for alcohol from their lives, and God has proceeded to do exactly that.
Boom.
I don't know that I'm hearing that in all AA meetings across from coast to coast today. Are you guys?
No, I'm not. In my home group, though, we're like that. It's very, very clear that God is the one that removed that from me. It had to be perfect. And there's only one thing in this world that could have done that perfectly, and that is God.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything else that would do it for me.
And here it says again, it goes, having been granted a perfect release from alcoholism, why then shouldn't we be able to achieve the same means, a perfect release from every other difficulty or defect? I really like that. So it worked with our alcoholism, which was just the beginning of this whole journey, right? In step 1, why wouldn't it work for the other defects of character? That is such good news. That is such good news. So if I'm powerless, what that suggests to me is that I'm not just powerless over alcohol. Left to my own devices, I'm powerless over my own defects of character.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes. So that opens up a whole can of worms for a lot of folks. Because if my life is still reflecting my old behaviors, then the only thing I've done is removed one element out of my life, and that's the substance that I'm abusing, right? That's it. That's all I've done. So if I'm still shacking up with her, if I'm still, kicking the neighbor's dog, if I'm still screaming and yelling at the garbage man because he doesn't pick my garbage up right, or the paper boy because he misses my porch, and it's ruining my day, then maybe the only thing I've done is stop drinking or stop using or whatever. And that's sad. And it's unfortunate because I think the rooms today of church, synagogue, AA, NA, CR, are filled with people that abstinence is the only thing that has been accomplished from whatever. The good news is there are a lot of people that are doing this. That's refreshing to me to know that. So I don't want to move into step 7 yet, because I want to kind of get your guys' take on what was your experience. Which one of you wants to start with step 6?
Oh, I'll go first. I think everybody kind of has a catching point in the steps, and 6 and 7 were it for me. I didn't quite understand it because I still get angry. My obsession was lifted. It's just gone. I do not want alcohol anymore. It's just gone. So I got confused because I'm like, well, if he's going to lift me, how come I still get angry? How come I'm still going through these things? And that is because I started to figure out that it was a practice, right? That when I do get angry, God saved me from being angry, and so I started utilizing prayers, and then the perfection portion of it too. But that's more in step 7. So 6 was kind of a sticking point for me. But once I figured it out, that and what really helped me was becoming responsible for things, becoming responsible for my actions, becoming responsible for my emotions, and definitely being responsible for my own triggers. When I did that, that is when the freedom of six started to kind of infiltrate for me. So,
Roger?
Well, step 6 for me was what it said, entirely ready. I was ready. I did a thorough 4th and 5th step, and I was entirely ready to have God remove these from me in step 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what there is to argue about. When I stopped drinking and using, I was left with all my problems.
Yeah.
So clearly, drugs, alcohol, and porn, and all the other things that were related to my character defects were not my problem. They were a symptom of my problem. And my problem was I was powerless over people, places, and things, and I wasn't willing at the time to take full ownership of my character defects. So I had to first acknowledge them, admit them, own them, and then go to God and have them removed. And I don't know what there is to argue about, quite frankly. It's like, what? So read the text.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was always a shades of gray guy growing up, and even beginning in the program. I didn't want to be black and white. I wanted to have wiggle room to do my will. And it took me a while to understand how sinister my will was.
mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to say yes or no. Like the Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. No, I didn't want to do that. I was the maybe guy. Well, I'll get back to you guy. Well, I don't know yet guy. I'm not saying yes or no. That means a commitment. Now I'm accountable and responsible for a commitment. Oh no.
Right.
It's like, aren't we like that until we stop that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I got sick and tired of me being me, separated from God's will, it was time to change. That's what my sponsor would always say, Roger, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So the problem was always me. It wasn't you. It wasn't mommy and daddy. It wasn't the girlfriend, the wife, the kids, the police, the teachers. It was nobody else but me. And I had to acknowledge it. I had to identify them. And I had to ask God to remove them. And I was ready. But it takes time. It is a process. You have to die to self. You just have to die to self. If there's any self left in my being, it's negative. It's not positive. It's not good. I've never, ever been able to find the results of my will better than what God's will was or is. Never. And I can lie about it, and say all the things. We can dress it up, make it not. I'm sorry, the facts are the facts, and my will sucks in comparison to God's.
Yeah.
When my will begins to be transformed into His will by the 12 steps, by 10, 11, and 12, by the 2 most important commandments, guess what? My will is now being transformed by the renewing of my mind. And I have God to thank for that. Not Roger. It's not an attaboy thing. It's thank God he did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. And so I'm grateful.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Do you guys think that step 6 and 7, because there's not a whole lot in print in the big book on these compared to the other steps, that these kind of get glossed over?
Absolutely. We don't talk about 6 and 7 much in the meetings. No. And you're right. It's way in the big, it's 4 paragraphs long, 6 and 7.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
3.
not very much.
So I really appreciate the 12 by 12 because it helped me understand it a little bit better. I know I needed a little bit more information. Now I love 6 and 7. They remind me of what I'm doing. They help me with my character defects. And it's brought God closer in my life, which I absolutely love. But yeah, I would agree. We tend to gloss them over because they're shorter, I think.
on page 69 of the 12 and 12, continuing with step 6, it says, it is suggested that we ought to become entirely willing to aim toward perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And then down a bit, if you read, it says, the moment we say no, never,
Yep.
our mind closes against the grace of God. Delay is dangerous, and rebellion may be fatal. This is the exact point at which we abandon limited objectives and move toward God's will for us. So here is another remark about the speed on which we address these steps.
Mm-hmm.
Delay is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
and rebellion may be fatal. So again, if you know, and I really didn't see this early on in my working of the steps with my sponsor. I missed a lot of the emphasis on moving forward quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a lot of it, but it's
because
there.
it wasn't said.
It wasn't said. It wasn't spoken.
It wasn't spoken about.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Okay, moving into step 7. Now, step 7 says humbly. In fact, the original manuscript said humbly on our knees.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a position that we're taking, right? Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Now, here's an interesting point, and a lot of people don't like this word, the word sin. But it's actually mentioned in the literature. People don't like, they kind of like, I don't want to go there. But listen, chill out. It's okay. It's simply an archery term. It means to miss the target or miss the mark. And so if you think to yourself for a minute, if I'm aiming towards something like perfection, I'm working towards it, I want to be more God conscious and all that stuff, and I'm aiming toward that target, and I've got my bow and my arrow in my hand, right? And I'm aiming, I'm taking an aim, and I get distracted, and I release that arrow, I'm going to miss that target. I'm going to miss the mark. I'm going to fall short of the target. Shortcoming, right? The character defects and the shortcomings, I believe, are the same thing. It's a defect of character. It's a shortcoming. I've missed the mark. The Bible calls it sin. And so does the literature in the AA literature. And so it just simply means I'm falling short, right? So what is the thing that I'm finding objectable in my life that is causing me to be distracted while I'm aiming for what I want to go for, and I missed the mark? And so we find those things out in steps 4. We confess them in steps 5. In step 6, we're preparing to have these things removed. And then in step 7, we humbly, because we need to be humble about this, we ask him, capital H, God, to remove our shortcomings. Now, there's a reason, right? Because if we keep hold of these things, they'll continue to hinder us, and we'll continue to miss the mark. And I've actually heard some people say in 12-step meetings, some of my shortcomings and character defects, I really don't want taken away. And I think to myself, that's too bad. I mean, but if I would be honest, maybe I'm like that too.
I think we all have pet character defects that
we want to keep.
That we want to keep for whatever reason it is. But if you want to keep them, wouldn't you want to call them something else than shortcomings or character defects or sins? Wouldn't you want to call it my life principles? I mean, something that sounds good at least.
Yeah.
Why would I say I want to keep character defects or sins or shortcomings? I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
So here's the excuse that, and I heard this a lot in reference to somebody in my life years ago that was less than kind sometimes. The person's parent would say to me, well, that's just the way he is, And then I found myself, well, that's just the way I am. It's just the way, I just grew up that way. I mean, I'm kind of a jerk when it comes to this area. That's just kind of who I am. No. That's settling.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to stay in your own donkey poop, then sure. The last paragraph in step 7 in the 12 and 12 says, the 7th step is where we make the change in our attitude, which permits us, with humility as our guide, to move out from ourselves toward others and toward God. Whew.
I love it.
The whole emphasis of step 7 is on humility. It is really saying to us that we now ought to be willing to try humility in seeking the removal of our other shortcomings, just as we did when we admitted that we were powerless over alcohol. So see, I love it. Here he does it again. He's saying the same thing, but he's using different words, so we'll get it. And came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. If that degree of humility could enable us to find the grace by which such a deadly obsession could be banished, then there must be hope of the same result respecting any other problem we could possibly have. Any.
Yeah.
Did I read you guys what Dr. Bob said about humility? Did I read it to you guys? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but
Let's hear it.
yeah.
This just listen. Perpetual quietness of heart. It is to have no trouble. It is to never be fretted or vexed, irritable or sore, to wonder at nothing that is done against me. It is to be at rest when nobody praises me, and when I am blamed or despised. It is to have a blessed home in myself, where I can go and shut the door and kneel to my Father in secret and be at peace, as in a deep sea of calmness, when all around and about is seeming trouble.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that and I just go, wow. Wow. And that's the humility that we're talking about in the 12 steps.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard people in our lives that are close to us, as well as people that may not be so close, but we just are acquaintances with them, as well as people in the world, on media and so forth, scared to death, literally in panic mode over the ways of the nations. This is nothing new. It's that fear of yesterday, today, and tomorrow has been something that people have grappled with for all their lives, right? And yet, and I don't want to come across like I don't care, because that's not the case at all. But you know what, guys? I sleep just fine.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's getting bombed, who may get bombed, whatever politician says whatever, whoever says this or that, whoever's claiming their rights, whatever city's being burned down by right fighters. I'm sorry, but it isn't that I don't care, but it is well with my soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I got to tell you, that was not my MO.
Yeah.
I used to be scared of my shadow.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it wasn't until God dealt with me and my own stuff that I actually was able to grasp this whole idea of peace within. It doesn't mean I like what's going on. It doesn't mean that I'm comfortable. It doesn't mean I don't stand, for what I believe are my God-given rights and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it means that the turmoil of the day isn't going to affect me to a place where I'm not effective for God and His purposes in my life. It's just not gonna.
Well, and it diverts us from our primary purpose of staying sober and helping the next alcoholic.
Doesn't it?
That's,
Completely.
and yeah, and, as somebody with ADHD, I'm easily distracted. So thank God I have God in my life to continue to remind me of what it is that I'm doing here. So I think there's one thing that kind of disrupts a saying in AA that kind of disrupts 6 and 7, and it's progress, not perfection, which isn't really an AA saying. It's we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual. That's the saying.
That's the saying. Spiritual progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Where, I utilize it as making progress while reaching for perfection. Then that was the part that caught me was, well, that's perfection. I'm not perfect. And that was my defiance. Well, I'm not perfect. We know.
Yeah,
but
we all know
something
that.
to chase. I need a carrot, man.
Yeah.
And God provides me that carrot by saying, here, Dan, we're going to go help more people. And it works very, very well for me. So I know I'm not going to be perfect. Well, one day I will be. I'll be dead that day, and I'll be perfect. Until then, I'm going to try. I'm going to try as best as I can to be like God. You bet. It's wonderful. It's a great life.
I'd like someone to logically explain to me what is the downside of doing that. What is the downside?
Right.
Somebody please convince me that there is a downside to seeking your Creator's perfect will and goals in life than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't. You can't.
No. But I love my justifiable anger.
Yeah,
it's who I am.
But even if someone were to say that, they would probably laugh and giggle. It can't possibly be honest and genuine and real. That's what's so amazing about the steps. When simple sentences like, he either is or he isn't, there is a God, I have to stop playing God because it doesn't work. These little straightforward sentences. Why do we argue about them? I don't argue anymore. That's what I meant. I used to be the guy that didn't want to be black or white because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. But I'm not that way anymore. The truth is the truth, whether I like it or not. I can't refute truth.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the guy that said that the definition of insanity is not what we hear all the time in the rooms, what Einstein said. But what this guy said, and he had triple-digit sobriety, or he had when I say triple-digit, I meant he had a lot of sobriety.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm marching towards my chip, which has 3 X's on it. So that's what I think about triple-digit, 3 X's.
Sure.
But my point being is that he said the definition of insanity is rejection of the truth. And I'd never heard anybody say that, and I went, whoa, that to me had much more impact in my psyche than doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, which is kind of the same thing.
Sure.
But rejection of truth, if it's truth, it's truth. Why do I reject it?
Yeah.
And how do you answer that question with a reasonable, logical answer? You can't.
Yeah.
Because if you answer that, it means you're a liar.
Yeah.
Right.
It means if truth isn't truth, well, it's not my truth. Well, that's not truth. How my truth almost got me dead.
Yeah.
So, and you guys have probably heard me say it before. It's been a long time, so I think I can say it on this episode. So if I go out and I slash your tires, like maybe at the smoke break at the local 12-step meeting, I just go out there and I just puncture your tires, right? You can't get mad at me because my truth says that's okay.
Nobody's truth says that's okay, Monty.
My truth says it's all right. Just because your truth says it's not. My truth.
Nobody's truth says that's okay, Monty.
But you know what I'm saying? People are ridiculous like that. Well, that's not my truth. Well, oh, please.
But isn't it amazing that everybody is a horrible driver except for you, and it holds true for everyone?
Yeah, how does that
Everybody's a horrible driver but you.
How does that work? So if everybody's a perfect driver.
I'm not a perfect driver. I'm a professional driver.
Yeah.
I'm not a perfect driver. I'm assertive.
Yeah.
I'm not offensive. I'm assertive.
That's right. I'm not taking your inventory. I'm just making an observation.
That's right.
I'm just making an observation.
I love laughing about all this stuff because we're the most hilarious, wonderful, crazy people in the world.
Are.
If you hang out with someone who's not alcoholic and hear us talking about these things, they're like, whoa.
I know.
Well, we can laugh at these because we did these things.
Yes.
And
yes, I lived them. I thought that way. Yeah.
I said these things. Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell myself here.
Yay!
There's
drum roll.
There's an animated television show that I watched one time. I will never watch it again. I have no desire to because it's foul and just foul. But somebody told me you have to watch this episode, and it was South Park, and it was on an AA meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed until I cried. I'm like, these little guys had us down pat. And I'm thinking, okay, somebody in that writers guild there that writes for that thing.
Oh yeah,
is one of us. I mean,
they just remove all the profanity and some of the stuff they say. It is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, if they could do that, and yeah.
I went to high school with Trey Parker.
Really?
I did. Heritage High
That
School.
explains a lot. No.
Class of 1989.
That explains everything.
No. I don't remember him, but I had a friend tell me that I guess we picked on him a lot, and he got picked on a lot in high school. So good for him on changing it around. Now he's like, oh yeah, I'll just make a show about you. So yeah, went to high school. Good on them, man. Good on them.
But yeah, you know the television show Alan Ludden, I think his name was, hosted a television show called Candid Camera. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was Alan Funt.
Alan Funt.
Alan Ludden was
Ludden's
password. Alan Ludden was password.
Yeah. So Alan Funt was Candid Camera.
Smile, you're on Candid Camera.
And the song that would come on at the beginning of it was, they said, it's fun to laugh at yourself like other people do.
Yeah.
Right. And it really is. I mean, if you can't, I mean, we talk about the man in the mirror and, you know, the seriousness of looking at yourself in the mirror and coming to grips with, you know, who you really are and all that. But there's a part of that, you got to laugh. Yeah. You got to look at yourself and just have a good belly laugh because you're really funny. Mm-hmm. I mean, you really are. That guy in the mirror is hilarious. Yeah, so there we go. All right. Good show, guys. Pig legs. You've heard me talk about it before. Pride, greed, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, sloth. I can wrap up that whole the whole 2 pages in the Came to Believe Legacy Guide on character defects. And I was reading through it again this morning. Resentment, self-pity, self-justification, self-importance, self-condemnation, dishonesty, impatience, and on it goes. And I'm going, there it is. Pride, greed, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, sloth. That it all wrapped up right there on those 2 pages. Mm-hmm. You know, and when I can humbly come before my Creator, right, and position myself in a humble manner, He doesn't let me down. He never does. He always comes through. Mm-hmm. You know, it may not always be at the speed that I would like or any of that kind of stuff, but he always comes through. I cannot think, Roger and Dion, one time in my entire life that God didn't engage his perfect and lovely will in my life.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be here if it weren't for his love and perfect will.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
We should all be dead 10 times over.
Yeah.
With what we did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Our closing song, Words and Music by Moi, sung by Mr. Sam Arton. This song is entitled Until I Surrendered. And then we'll come back and close out the show. Here's Sam.
I've been searching for answers in pages of books, gathering wisdom from the brightest of looks. 12 steps and meetings, the rituals in place, but nothing would change. I was losing the race, fighting the battles with scars on my soul, trying so hard just to feel whole, but often I'd stumble and fall from my grace, chasing my shadows, longing for space, until I surrendered, let go of the fight, to the one who brings healing, my beacon of light. He's my creator, my best friend, so true, loves me unconditionally, whatever I do. Day turns to night, I can feel his embrace, kneeling in prayer, finding my place. No judgment or shame, just love overflowing. Each moment with him, I feel myself growing. He mends all my flaws, the cracks in my heart, transforming the darkness, giving me a new start. All my defected self, he turns to a gift. With every new dawn, I feel my spirit lift, until I surrender, let go of the fight, to the one who brings healing, my beacon of light. He's my creator, my best friend, so true, loves me unconditionally. Oh, whatever I do, there are so many starving for God's gentle hand. I hear the calling, it's time to take a stand. I answer that call, surrender each day, 'cause the love that I found is the only way. With every defect I give away with grace, I'm spreading the love, hope lighting up the space in the hearts of the broken, the lost and the meek. Together we rise, together we see. So here I am standing, renewed and so free, with faith as my anchor, just him and me. No more striving alone, I walk by his side. In surrender I flourish, in love I abide, until I surrender, let go of the fight, to the one who brings healing, my beacon of light. He's my creator, my best friend, so true, loves me unconditionally. Oh, whatever I do, so I'll share this love to those in my way, for I found my purpose, my heart's new sway. With God in my life, I'm answering the call, surrendering daily. I rise, never fall.
Hey, listen, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That really helps us out if you would do that. Listen, next week we're going to take a snapshot of Step 8. This is the beginning of the restitution phase of the 12 steps. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. That'll be next week here at take12radio.com on your internet dial. Thanks, guys, for a great show. Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man along with the rest of the Take 12 Recovery Radio family, and we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you.
Don't let the weights of the past keep you down. There's a melody here to turn it around. In each story and song you'll find a friend, a chorus of courage that'll never end.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.